Picture a freezing December night. A man sits alone in his dimly lit study. He's tired, surrounded by heavy, dusty books. He is trying to read, hoping the pages will distract him from a deep, aching loss. The memory of someone he loved very much, named Lenore. The house is perfectly still. Only the sound of the fire dying out in the grate breaks the silence. For anyone who has ever felt lonely, you know this feeling. You pick up a book and you try to lose yourself in a story, just to stop your mind from wandering back to what you miss. Then, right as he starts to drift off to sleep, there is a noise, a soft, quiet tapping. First, it sounds like someone gently knocking at his bedroom door, but when he checks and finds nothing, he hears it again, a little louder this time, coming from the window. Now his heart is beating a little faster. The heavy purple curtains are rustling, casting strange shadows across the walls. It is completely natural to feel a spike of fear here. He whispers to himself, time to make sense of the sound. He decides it must just be a late-night guest, or maybe a branch blowing in the winter wind. Gathering his courage, he decides to face whatever is out there. He walks over to the window and throws open the shutters to finally see what is making that noise. But there isn't a ghost or a prowler. Instead, a large black raven steps right inside. It doesn't even stop to look at him. It just struts into the room as if it owns the place. The frightening mystery vanishes. It is just a bird. Sometimes our minds turn every bump in the night into a monster. But often, if we just open the window, we find something completely ordinary, even if it is a very strange, unexpected guest. Once inside, the raven ignores the man entirely. It flies straight across the room and lands high above the doorway, perched right on top of a pale marble statue. If we think about this from the animal's point of view, it makes perfect sense. This bird has been flying through a bitter, freezing winter storm. It is dark out, it is cold, and the raven is just completely exhausted. When it finds the open window, it looks for the safest spot it can find. That marble statue is solid stone. It is high up near the ceiling, far away from any humans or predators on the floor, making it the perfect resting place. Because the bird finally feels warm and secure, it settles in. It tucks its wings and makes a very stubborn bird-like decision. It is not going to move from this spot, no matter what happens. Looking at it this way, we see a very tired, very stubborn animal that found a warm place to sleep, and it simply refused to ever budge. The man sitting in the room actually finds this pretty funny at first. He looks up at this serious, unmoving bird sitting so proudly on his statue and jokingly asks it what its name is. To his complete surprise, the bird actually answers him. It opens its beak and croaks out a single harsh word, nevermore. Look at how this word is built. Nevermore has a slow, heavy rhythm. When you say it out loud, the second half of the word stretches out, almost like a long, drawn-out sigh. It is a sound designed to echo slowly across a quiet room. The definition itself carries a sense of finality. It means whatever happened in the past is gone, and nothing new will follow it. The door has closed. For a man who is already mourning the loss of his friend Lenore, that definition hits directly at his deepest fear. He misses her, and the word reminds him that she isn't coming back. The joke is over. That one simple word instantly drains the amusement out of the room because it perfectly voices the heavy sadness the man is already carrying in his own chest. Now, the man starts to spiral. He pulls his chair right up to the door and begins firing questions at the bird. He asks if his pain will ever ease. He asks desperately if he will ever get to see Lenore again in the afterlife. And to every single question, the bird gives the exact same answer: nevermore. The man grows more and more frustrated, eventually shouting in anger as the bird continues to reject every hope he offers. The man is doing this to himself. This raven likely learned one word from a previous owner and repeats it now by instinct, without understanding a single syllable. The man slowly realizes this. The brief distraction of the mystery fades away, leaving him entirely alone again. The bird can't give him comfort, and it can't bring his friend back. The story ends with a striking image. The exhausted bird never leaves the statue. It just sits there, while the lamplight above it casts a long, dark shadow down onto the floor, trapping the sitting man entirely within it. That unmoving bird and its heavy shadow show us exactly what grief looks like. The memory of loss is stubborn. It settles into your mind, refuses to leave, and casts a shadow over everything else in the room. Through the story of a cold, stubborn animal looking for a place to rest, we get a perfectly clear picture of what it feels like to live with a lingering memory that simply refuses to fly away.